So here's my question. So
Mm-hmm.
your what you said to our friend about being dangerous. Can you be dangerous with no history, with no backlog, with no foundation of greatness? Like how would I be dangerous?
Yeah, what I'd say is don't go fight a giant until you fought a bear and a lion, and don't go fight a
Okay.
bear and a lion until you've been faithful and taking care of sheep. And so I think sometimes
Interesting.
the moment we're ready to be dangerous, we just jump right to the front line and go a little early.
Yeah.
You're going to be dead in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what I'd say is start with small risks.
Yeah.
And frankly, it can be in a completely unrelated area.
Right.
I'm going to just say this, like I am fearless in talking to people about Jesus who don't believe in God. There's a direct relationship with that and being fearless in my business decisions in taking huge risks to build a company because it comes from the core of who I am. And what I do find is that oftentimes when a person is fearful in one area, that fear translates into all the other areas of their life.
Right.
And so I say pick one area in your life that you know you haven't maybe been faithful to, or a place you could actually elevate your level of courage.
Okay, so someplace you're afraid.
Yeah.
You said unfaithful.
You had to be faithful too, because I think that there's a sense of calling in each person going, there are things I need to be doing in my life. And I think it's it's like 360. It's not just, my calling is my job. I mean, because my calling is to be a great husband and to be a great father and, to be a great leader at Mosaic. And so I feel like it's full circle around me.
Right.
And just like with discipline, you cannot be disciplined in one area and actually remain undisciplined in everything else. That lack of discipline translates to every area of your life.
Yeah, it really does bleed over.
Yeah. And so if you go, I'm really disciplined at work, but I'm disciplined with my health, undisciplined with my health, or undisciplined with my marriage, it's not true. You're lying to yourself about your discipline. You're undisciplined across the board.
Yeah. It's really interesting because I know this is on such a small level, but like when I leave my house, knowing my house is in order, I have so much more confidence in the day. Right? Like, and then if I just do the work to not let my house get messy or be disorderly, and in the rain, I'm throwing a towel down and my house is wet and there's just stuff, there's footprints, and there's certain things you just can't do without. But like, I know that I've done the work to keep my house in order. When I leave through the day, I'm going, no, well, when I go back home, my house is in order. I know this is fine. My life is good.
Yeah.
When I go home, it's in a comfortable place. I've done the prep work. But even with everything else, I think it bleeds over, right? Whenever your home is a mess, and I say this I used to say this all the time with the Mosaic boys. If your car is a reflection of how you live the rest of your life. If I can't get in your car because you're busy throwing bottles in the back and cleaning things up, and like make sure if I was jumping in your back seat, it's perfect.
No.
If I was jumping in your trunk, it's perfect. And given Austin can't do that because he's got about 17 cameras and 1 million wires in there. But for the most part, it's like just this preparedness for life going, I'm already ready for the day no matter what happens. Right. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe that's just the aesthetic things, but I feel like those are the little things that going like, I'm not naturally an organized person. I'm an OCD person that ironically doesn't transfer over to being like not messy. Right. So those little like hurdles, I go, okay, I'm going to button that up. I'm going to make sure this is good. I'm going to make sure this is good.
But let me give you an unexpected 360.
Wait. You avoid my question.
Oh, you didn't ask a question.
I did ask a question.
What is it?
How does one become dangerous?
Well, that was a while back.
Yeah. Crazy how it works with you, huh? You're like, it's like a rodeo.
I told you, step into your fears and make an incremental choice that moves you into that fear by an action.
Okay, so let's use this friend. How would this person step into their fear?
Well, what I told them was, don't quit your job.
Because that's people's first mistake, I feel.
Right. Yeah. Don't quit your job. Find something you love, like a hobby, and figure out how to translate that into
some form of work.
Yeah, like a supplemental career,
right,
until it can become a career. Or don't quit your job, but begin to get the skills you need to take what they're paying you to do right now and to do it for yourself.
Right.
Like, so oftentimes the career you could actually build as a company is the job other people are paying you for. You're just more comfortable taking a safe salary because they guarantee you the salary than to jump over and start your own company. And so it's the difference between being a plumber and owning a plumbing company. And I think it's great to work for someone else as an opportunity to learn incredible skills.
Right.
And if you're a complement on team, then being on that team is the right place to be in your life. But if that complement actually grows and becomes a competency that you can build a company around, then do that over time. Like, you don't have to do it today, but you could move toward it. So all I asked him is there something you're doing for that company that with a small risk you could actually begin to freelance and do it on your own as your own company?